Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Andrew Warren, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about Tesla stock and more specifically, why I think Tesla stock is on a huge sale today and why I think it's worth picking up at its current share price. And so, as always, if you all do enjoy these Tesla videos, please make sure to smash that like button. But just getting into this discussion for today, as a lot of you know already, Tesla stock actually had a pretty far into the red day. And if we count the after hours, it's currently at minus a little over 8%, at minus 8.01%. And for the normal market hours, it's at minus 5.83%. That's minus $27.68 off of the share price. And then for the after hours as well, it's at minus 2.32%, which is another $10.37 off the share price. So in total, about $38 off of the current share price just today alone. And so I want to talk about why I think this is actually a really solid time to buy in. But as always, of course, anything that I say in this video is not to be considered financial advice. This is simply me just sharing my thoughts, feelings, and perspectives about Tesla stock. And just noting another thing, I currently don't have any money to invest right now. But if I did, today would definitely be a day where I would be picking up some Tesla stock. Honestly, if I had money today, I would be loading the boat with Tesla shares just because I think this is a really big opportunity. And I've discussed this in past videos, and I always like to reiterate this point, that when you have a red day for a stock that you believe in long term, that you think is a high quality long term stock that has the potential to grow tremendously in the future over time, then when you have a red day like today, even if it's just minus 3%, or if you have a day like today where it's minus 8% or even farther into the red, one perspective that I really like to take on is simply viewing these days as opportunities. Rather than focusing on the impact that has on your portfolio, you can think about how to aggressively counter a day like today, where normally it would just be seen as something bad, where it has a negative impact on your portfolio. However, there are some strategies you can use to use a day like this to your advantage, and that is simply buying the stock while it's on a discount. And that's a perspective that I like to take on, and I did this when we had the most recent stock market crash over this past year. As you can see, from February 19th and on, my portfolio went way into the negative. I was at minus $13,700 almost at one point. Yet, what was I doing at this point in time and the whole way down? I was mostly buying Microsoft stock, and because of that, it recovered, and I was able to make around $8,000 in Microsoft stock. And then recently, as a lot of you know that are familiar with my channel, I sold around $40,000 in Microsoft stock. $8,000 of that position were just gains alone. And so I put that money all into Tesla stock just because I have a lot of faith in this company long term. And out of any stock in the stock market, Tesla is the one that I want to have my money in right now. So even in the past, I've used this strategy of looking at red days as opportunities. And keep in mind that I had a lot of people telling me that the stock market was going to crash like never before and that all of my investments were basically going to be worthless. However, I continued to ignore that advice, avoid being an emotional investor, and take advantage of something where most people would just simply look at as a bad thing and either panic sell or stress out so much over it. Whereas I took on a whole different perspective that I honestly think is really beneficial. And you can even check out my earlier videos on the channel as I was doing like transparency updates as these drops were happening. So that is something that I've consistently done in the past as well. And so like I said, if I did have cash on the sidelines today, I would likely be buying Tesla shares. And later this month, I will be having some money to put into Tesla stock. So just a heads up, full transparency, I will be buying more Tesla stock this month most likely. And then also, just given what's going on right now, I'm likely going to be selling some things soon as well to start buying Tesla stock even before I get my paycheck this month. So that's another thing that I'm doing right now. I'm trying to find some things that I have that I don't use anymore or that I don't need, or if it's just situations where I think if I sold that my money is better put into Tesla stock to grow it tremendously in the future. And my logic with that is, in the future, if I hold Tesla long term, I'm likely going to have a lot more money to go and buy those things again if I actually want them. So right now, I am actively working on finding some things that I can sell just to invest in more Tesla shares, as we are seeing a little bit of a pullback right now, and I would love to take advantage of that. But as you all know, I've already dollar cost averaged my money into it over these last few days. So I can't take advantage of this lower share price currently until I come up with some money or wait until my paycheck later this month. month. But with this video, I just want to emphasize that this is actually a pretty big opportunity to get in on a position for Tesla stock. And so it's really difficult to predict whether we will see some more pullbacks over this next month. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some pullbacks up until it starts to get a little bit closer to Battery Day, or if an S&P 500 inclusion announcement happens out of nowhere before Battery Day. But Battery Day is a situation where we could see some hype happening up before the event. As we know, investors love to factor things in early, so we could start seeing a little bit of hype mid-month or maybe a week or two up before Battery Day. I don't know what's going to happen in the meantime from now up until it starts getting closer to Battery Day. But like I said, if S&P 500 inclusion happens between now and Battery Day, that could kind of amplify that growth up before Battery Day and kind of keep the train rolling. Now, I do believe there could be a pullback sometime after Battery Day up until the next big announcement or up until the next big event, but there's also a lot of things happening in 2021 as well. You have Model Y production ramping up in early 2021 in the Shanghai Gigafactory. Then there's also been discussions around the Tesla Semi in 2021. And then, like I've mentioned before, Tesla has stated that Cybertruck production will likely be happening in late 2021. Now, that could be delayed until 2022, but that's still some events to keep in your peripherals and to think about. And so when we have a lot of clarity on some things that will be happening in the future, and especially the long term as well, you can take advantage of the share price when other investors are having short-term perspectives. And like with yesterday, investors reacted negatively to Tesla raising $5 billion in capital by offering more shares. It was just like a 1% dilution, and a lot of investors viewed this as a bad thing instead of realizing that Tesla is a growth company. And one of the most important things they can do right now is to scale their business at a level never seen before. And I think with this opportunity to get an extra $5 billion, they will use that money very wisely. We could see more gigafactories, and as we know, more gigafactories equals more production, larger scale, and that's exactly what we need with Tesla as demand starts to increase, as this EV transition starts to happen, with people no longer buying internal combustion engine vehicles and starting to adapt to the idea of possibly buying an electric vehicle as performance starts to get better, as the battery efficiency starts to get better, and as there's really cool technology being developed around autopilot and full self-driving. So when you look farther into the future and see these imminent events that will be happening and the transition that will be accelerated as time goes on, then you can look at times like today where people are just thinking in the short term and where people are thinking about, oh, Tesla just announced that they're going to be selling more shares. Oh no, this is a bad thing. If you start to realize that people aren't seeing the potential in this company and are focusing on the things they shouldn't be focusing on, then that's where long-term investors can take advantage of it. And so this is just another case, in my opinion, where long-term investing just wins. If you have the time to invest in the long term, in my opinion, that's the best way to invest, because especially if you're investing in a company in the early stages of its growth, you have that advantage as well, in addition to the fact of compound interest. So just addressing your investment position itself, like with this most recent week, just a few months ago, I was only at like $100,000 for my portfolio. As you can see, June 30th, that was near $100,000. We pretty much got into the 100K range on around the beginning of July. And so now I'm already at $146,000. And so I'm not even really used to this level of compound interest, where it's gone up so much just in the past months that on days like we've seen over this past week, I've gained like over $10,000 just in one day. I know at one point I gained $16,000 in one day. So that's another advantage to long-term investing. And it's a huge advantage when you have that combination of long-term investing and also investing in a company that is in the early stages of its growth like Tesla. So this is just a little bit of an explanation as to why I think Tesla is at a huge discount right now. And even if it goes down farther into the future, if you look back on this current share price of $437.05, if you look back on this 10 years from now, I think people are really just going to be frustrated that they didn't buy more of Tesla stock. Just like how we look back on Tesla stock earlier last year when it was like $50 per share after the split adjusted price. So comparing $50 per share to $437 right now, that's a big difference, and I think people are going to have that same perspective looking back at Tesla in 2030 when its value was at this current price in 2020. So like I said, these pullbacks are fantastic opportunities for people that want to be long-term Tesla investors. And so like I said, I see a big opportunity in the current share price right now. So my efforts over these next couple of days will be finding some things that I can sell, finding some way for me to get some money to put into Tesla stock, and then also, like I said, later later this month when I get paid, I will be putting more into Tesla stock. So hopefully by the time that I invest, Tesla will actually be kind of similar to what we're seeing right now with it being at a discount. So honestly, I don't have a problem with today's like today because I think it's a big opportunity when you really start factoring in these events in the future and the obvious things that are likely to happen once you start reading these news pieces, once you start learning more about Tesla's expansion and how they're scaling things right now. So I think there's a big potential with buying Tesla at this share price. Now, that's just my personal opinion, but like I said, I just like to tell you all what I'm doing, my opinions, my perspectives. But like I said, when I do come across some capital, I will likely be buying more Tesla stock whenever I get a chance to do so. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please make sure to smash that like button if you did, and also feel free to check out Robinhood and Webull in the description below. If you sign up with my referral link, you'll get some free stocks, and especially with Webull right now, if you use my referral link and deposit $100 into your account, you'll get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400. And keep in mind that you can take that $100 right back out after you get the free stocks. So it's basically just free money, free passive income with minimum effort. But hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week.